Hey, hardcore hog fans, coming to you from South Dakota again. I'm my co-host, George Waddell, in sunny California. What's up, buddy?
Oh, we're here in Beverly Hills, and
Ah, hey, we're joined tonight by our special guest from Minneapolis, Minnesota, hardcore hog fan, Rick Dowda. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? I think I'm the last hog fan in Minnesota, so it's great to be here.
Hey, we're glad to have you. That was a pretty good pick last week. Hey, let's get right to it. We've got Prediction Thursday on our minds. Let's go with it. George, I'm going to toss it back to you. What is your prediction for Texas, baby?
I've got nothing to lose. I'm guaranteed a spot on next week's show, so I can be as wrong as I want. And that's why I'm going to pick the Hogs. I'm picking Arkansas 35, Texas 27.
My. I am so glad you are the first one to come off with a hog victory. It gives me a little leeway to give my real prediction. Brother Dowda, tell me about it, buddy. What do you think's going to happen on this game?
I have three reasons for my pick, but I'm going to make it really quick. I know the spread opened at like 16.5, and now it's down to like 13.5 the last time I checked. So it's moved. There's three factors of my pick. First of all, the bye week. Petrino and the defense having 2 weeks to prepare and get healthy, right? It's an emotional game. Arkansas hates Texas. I expect to see our defense flying around like they were early in the season, not like the last couple of games. And if we win the turnover battle, we run the football, and we don't miss any field goals, we could keep it close. If not, this one scares me, guys. It scares me a little bit. I'm predicting 27-21 Texas.
There he goes.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're right, George.
George is right, too, because kind of like you, Rick, I got about 13 things on my list. Turnover battle, field position, time of possession, running game. I got 1,000 things that have to go right for us. And it's going to be tough, but we can do it. I'm not against it. But, man, we've got to be tight in every corner. I hate to say it, 25. Well, I know, total silence.
42-25.
42-25. I hate it. I'm so glad that George picked the Hogs because I was going to feel terrible if the whole show went to Texas.
I'm sorry, but if I had picked Texas, I think everybody in my family would have had a heart attack. So, there is no picking Texas. This is going to be the week. Every other week we're playing good football. I don't know what the hell happened at Ole Miss. It was almost like watching Texas versus Florida, because Texas jumped out on Florida and just stood on their neck the whole game. And so, that was at home. So I'm thinking that Arkansas now kind of rebounds, get back into the win column with a big win over Texas. We did versus Tennessee. I don't know why we can't do it versus Texas.
Similar teams, too, and how they're set up. Similar type talent.
I feel like your family is going to be watching this probably live anyway, so we can't edit it. And they're probably going to disown me as well for that score. However, they're number 4 in the country in defense. If our offense doesn't start stepping it up, we're not going to score more than 25. Their offense is outstanding. Queen Ewers is a total badass. I don't think he's the most accurate kid in the world when it comes to the long ball, but they throw enough long balls to finally get it right. And they will put some points on the board. So, I hate that that's my score. I'm usually energetic and enthusiastic about picking the Hogs, but this one's going to be a tough one, boys. And if we roll out of this deal with a victory or even anything closer than what I predicted, I'll be happy about it.
I'll be happy. To be honest with you, Rick, I will not be happy about it. I think that this game is the one game of the season that Sam Pittman, if he wins this game, is guaranteed new hit and continued employment next year.
Well, here's the deal, George, and I'll let Rick chime in here in a second, but now you got me all jazzed up a little bit. Here's the deal. You and I both picked Arkansas to go 6-6, win the bowl game. There's nothing impressive about a 6-6 season. There's nothing impressive about winning your bowl game and going 7-6. What we're doing is you and I are looking at next year, this program to build, and that's why I'll be happy with it. No, I'm never going to like losing to Texas, but at the end of the day, listen, I've lost it. I was sitting right next to Rick Dowda when we lost to Texas in 1989. At the last minute of the game, 22-20, we were handling. I'm used to it, but at the end of the day, I'll be happy with a better score than what I predicted. And then next year, we'll start bringing it to these SEC teams. And then looks like we're probably on every other year with them, and we'll whip their ass by the third year. So, and hey, if we upset them like we did Tennessee, you can bet your ass they're carrying the goalpost to Dixon Street one way or another.
Well, this is a revenge game for Sarkisian. You know, what we did to him in 21. Wasn't that his first year there?
That was a storm the field moment as well.
It sure was. That was a good team. KJ Jefferson had a big game. But I think George is right. I'm almost ready to switch my pick around and just flip it because I do believe that we can do this. It's either going to be a blowout, Texas is going to kill us, or it's going to be really close and we're going to squeak it out. Somehow, I do believe we can win the game. If you look at who we both played, I mean, there's only one team we both played, Mississippi State, right? Texas won by 19. We won by 33. They only put 10 points up against Georgia. Georgia's been proven that they can be beat. I mean,
simple. I'll make it very simple. This year, Ewers has only played in 2 road games. He's got Michigan and Vandy. I mean, he won them both, but he throws some interceptions. I mean, this kid has his fault. He's not the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. Actually, I think Arch Manning is a better quarterback, but this kid has done the job. Sam Pittman says, we have to win the turnover battle. If we win the turnover battle, I think we've got a great shot at this game. But I don't foresee that, so they have just too many weapons. And I can't get away from the weapons they have, and I would just hope that somehow they just don't perform when it's game time.
I thought was a great point, Dowda, was switch, if you had the ability to switch schedule, if Texas had to play our schedule and we had to play Texas's schedule, would they be ranked number 4 in the country on defense? I don't think so. So I think that's a little bit deceiving.
They only played Georgia. They haven't played anybody good.
Hey, I was looking at some stats, and this is from the University of Texas's website. I mean, this is not an Arkansas deal. Total offense rank is 5, 9. Rushing offense, ours is 32. They're number 61. We're number 11. They're number 10. Passing efficiency, 31, and they're 9. Up with these guys. Here's the difference, though. Total defense, we're 90th. They're number 2. This is FBS stuff, okay? Defense, 79. They're number 4. Turnover margin, we're minus like 3.5. They're plus 0.5. So if we win the turnover margin, we're evenly matched with these guys, statistically speaking. If Bruce or Sean or Lang, one of our statistician folks, watches this, they'll probably will check me on all this. But I'm reading this straight from a University of Texas website. So they've matched us up pretty well. I didn't see much else that we're better in time of possession, which is going to help with the running game. But we're number 42 in the country in time of possession. They're number 81. We match up. We just have to execute. And I think turnovers is what it's going to come down to. That's number 1 in my book.
That is absolutely where it's been every single game. If we win the turnover battle, we win the game. If we lose the turnover, which we often do, and in multiples like fumbles and interceptions and batches and at bad times. So, turnovers are always going to be the key to the football game. thing about the statistics, I really think are skewed because of their weak schedule and our strong schedule.
No, I totally agree. Totally agree with that.
Plus, we stepped in it versus Mississippi. I mean, we just got throttled and we just kept getting. You know, and I think the same kind of thing happened. Um, you know, when we played LSU. You know,
Or playing at home, we have that advantage. We have the crowd that hates Texas, which will be extra loud, sold out crowd. There's be a lot going on in this game. I mean, you know, there's a lot of things that can go right. The football players are going to have to do their job and show out, and we certainly need Texas to fall down a few times.
There are certain things that could help us, but they could also hurt us. Right? The 11 a.m. game is important. It's early. You know, they're coming in town at a different place. They're probably not sleeping that well. We could get off to a good start. I think it comes down to controlling the clock. Over the entire season so far, we've had 53% of our plays have been rushing attempts. Okay, so that's almost in half. I think it needs to be more. It needs more. When Jackson runs, do you know his three largest running games, the most attempts were? They were Tennessee, Auburn, and Oklahoma State. He had 20 rushing attempts, 22 and 24 in those three games. And we know that Oklahoma State wasn't his fault. He had 3 touchdowns and 149 yards. All right, so he's averaging 12 carries a game. Now, I know he was hurt, some of that, but the carries have gone down dramatically in the losses, and we need to run the ball. We're good at it. 5.7 yards per carry. You got to be running the ball. Take the quarterback for Texas off the field and run the ball. Maybe 25 times to Jackson, maybe more. He's got to be
well. We know for sure. We know for sure he'll be back this week, but I just don't know what his injury is going to allow him to do. I hope he's able to go. I mean, you know, we're at that point in the season now where injuries become nagging, if you will, and they linger. I mean, Texas is no they got the same problem we got. I mean, Ewers has a nagging abdominal injury that he can't get away from. But I don't think that much matters because there's a great quarterback standing right behind him that's ready to go.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think we're all riddled with our injuries, and we may not be out, but they still linger. Is fully healed because we've left him out so long that maybe he does come in and get 25 carries and he's fresh as he can be. So you couple that with the rest of our running game, and we could be unstoppable.
Well, that's going to open up the play action pass. If we can run the ball effectively, then we can play action and dink and dunk all the way down and just burn time off the clock. And that's the only way you beat guys, I think.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, that's the strategy: is ball control, keep Texas off the field, play the possession game where you end the half with the ball, hopefully in scoring position, and then get the ball in the second half and score and try and get that little bit of cushion and play football like a strategic game, because Texas is, you're right, coming in at 11 o'clock, and you saw what happened when Ole Miss came in at 11 o'clock. We just didn't fire. And if we have that same attitude, if fans have that same attitude versus Texas, then we're in danger. But if everything goes right and you're optimistic, that the quarterback's healthy enough that he can control the offense, just manage the offense, don't try and do everything all at once, just play the game of football and don't turn it over, it's going to be a great game. 35-26.
No doubt about it.
Trouble, right? When he's trying to do everything. When he rolls out or he drops back, I get so nervous. He's so like talented, but he is volatile. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. To throw an interception, he's going to run into somebody. He's going to try to he's going to throw out his shoulder. I mean, the kid he's wild. You just don't know. He needs to be a little more under control for me to feel comfortable going forward.
No doubt about it. All right, fellas. Wrap it up. It's been a good hardcore hog week. You say, George, you got any final words for it?
You're muted.
Probably cut out. I got such bad bandwidth out here.
George
Dowda, what do you think?
George is muted. So we'll say this. I was at happy hour today with a bunch of Big Ten people, and they said, I told them I was going to be on this podcast called Hardcore Hog, and they was like, what kind of porn show are you on?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I had to get a Hardcore Hog Instagram page, but then they nixed it. They said, no, you can't have Hardcore Hog, I guess when I started to think about it, maybe, there is a market for that.
Don't Google
we'll start showing naked hogs.
And so I really appreciate Dowda's POV.
What's up between us, right? I don't know. I mean, there's a reason why he's doing that job and we're not. He knows what he's doing.
Hey, come on, Dowda, give us your best Petrino impersonation right now.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I think we do. I think you're prepared. It's an 11 o'clock game, baby.
That's awesome.
All right, boys. Hey, go Hogs. Go Hogs. Let's go. Yeah, baby. Hey, George, looks like we got my man Steve Rideout on the studio here. Let's go, Rideout. What you got?
Hey, DeWese. Hey, Hardcore Hawk fans. Glad to be with you again. Hey, one of the most notable rivalries in college football is back on the hill. Again, this weekend, there's a lot at stake for both teams. UT comes in ranked number 3 in the nation, number 2 in the SEC with a clear path to the playoffs. Arkansas is coming off a thorough thrashing by Ole Miss and is one game shy of a bowl qualifying 6 wins. So getting a win is key for the Hogs. More importantly, the Hogs need a win against a top-ranked team to prove to themselves and the fan base that we are an improving program. And Tennessee wasn't a hoax. Texas has shown the ability to be electric on offense, and Sarkisian's one of the best play callers in the nation. It helps that they're loaded with talent at wide receiver, and the Texas passing attack behind the play of Quinn Ewers is averaging more than 300 yards a game. That's going to be a real test for the Hogs. They also run the ball effectively, which allows them to run play action, and their screen game is absolutely elite. Don't let anybody sleep on their screen game. It's one of the best in the country. The knock on Texas, however, is that they haven't really played anybody and that they aren't deserving of their national ranking. But if you listen to Pittman's press conference, he would say just the opposite, that they are deserving. They're a really good football team. Truth is, they haven't played a rough road schedule, but that doesn't detract from the fact that they are flat-out talented and very well coached. Sarkisian is as good as it gets. He knows how to recruit. It's obvious over the last couple of years since they lost to us a couple of years ago in Fable. They are loaded with 4- and 5-star talent, and that talent is going to be on display on Saturday up on the hill. Texas is also motivated to make a statement on the road and avenge that loss to Arkansas back in 2021 and further secure their spot in the playoffs and maybe quiet some of their detractors on the national level. Arkansas is reeling on defense, no doubt about it, after that Ole Miss loss, and we've got major questions about who's going to start in the secondary. And the offense is still a little bit banged up with Talon and Jaquindon. Now, both Talon and Jaquindon are reported to be ready to play on Saturday, and they're going to need to play at an elite level if the Hogs are going to have a chance to be competitive. Hogs need to outpace their season average on offense on Saturday to keep up with Texas, who is certainly going to push the pace offensively against Arkansas's beleaguered defense. Texas passing attack will look very, very similar, in my opinion, to what we faced against LSU and Ole Miss. They're going to spread it out. They're going to get us in space, and they've got talented guys. And when they get guys with the football in space, Arkansas just hasn't proven to me this year that they're going to be able to stop that effectively. Secondary is going to have to be almost perfect, in my opinion, if we hope to hold down that high-powered Texas passing attack. No doubt the home field advantage and the fact that it's an old-school rivalry game will help motivate the Hogs. And I think it's going to take more than a passionate fan base and beautiful weather and Fable, however, to propel the Hogs to a victory. Texas is too good, in my opinion. They just have too much firepower, and there's too much at stake for them to look past Arkansas. They're going to be prepared. Again, they're well coached, and I feel like they will play with a chip on their shoulder. Arkansas has to do the same if they're going to be competitive and hope to get a win on the hill. We got to play mistake free, no turnovers, and we need to get a whole lot of help from Texas, in my opinion. I think they're just that good. If so, I think we got a fighting chance. But my gut tells me this might be Texas' year, and they get a big win in Fayetteville on Saturday. Unfortunately, Hog fans, final score Texas, Hogs 17.
Sounds great, buddy. Excellent report. Appreciate you. Get you on the flip side.
Go Hogs.